All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful technique that can totally level up your language pronunciation. It's called shadowing, and honestly, it might just be the game changer you've been looking for.
Hey, does this sound familiar? You can read, you get the jokes in movies, your vocabulary is awesome, but then you open your mouth to speak, and something's just not clicking. The words are there, but they just don't sound right. It's a super common place to be, and trust me, it's frustrating, but it's exactly what we're going to fix today.
So here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about that roadblock, what I'm calling the native sound barrier. Then we'll dive into the solution, shadowing. I'm going to give you a full step-by-step tutorial, share some pro tips to help you master it, and then it'll be your turn to give it a shot.
Okay, first things first. Let's really get to the heart of the problem. What is this barrier that separates knowing all the words from actually sounding natural when you speak?
This is what a lot of people call the intermediate plateau. It's that point where you feel stuck. Your brain is packed with grammar rules and tons of words, right? But your mouth hasn't learned the music of the language yet. And that's the key. It's not about learning more words. It's about the rhythm, the intonation, the melody, the actual feel of how the language is spoken. So how in the world do we teach our mouths to make that music? Well, this is where our STAR technique comes in. Let's get a crystal clear idea of what shadowing actually is.
It's actually pretty simple. You listen to a native speaker and you repeat what they say. But here's the trick. You do it in real time. You're not waiting for them to finish the sentence. Nope, you are right there with them, just a tiny fraction of a second behind, like their echo. Your one and only job is to mimic them as perfectly as possible. Here's a great way to think about it. Imagine you want to learn how to draw a masterpiece. You wouldn't just stare at it and then try to draw it from memory, would you? Of course not. You'd trace it. You'd follow every single line exactly. Shadowing is the vocal version of tracing. You're literally forcing your mouth to copy the new patterns and sounds perfectly. Okay, theory is one thing, but let's get practical. How do you actually do this? I'm going to walk you through it step by step right now. There are just 4 simple steps. Seriously, that's it. First, find a short audio clip. And I mean short, like 15 to 30 seconds max. Next, just listen. Don't speak, just absorb the sound and the rhythm. Step 3, play it again, but this time, whisper along with it. This is a great little hack because it takes all the pressure off of being perfect. You just focus on the timing. And finally, step 4, play it one more time and speak out loud. Go for it. For our little demo, we're going to use a total classic you've probably heard before. It's super simple, but it has a really clear rhythm that's perfect for practicing. Let's use this one. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. So if we apply our steps, first you'd just listen. You'd notice that stress, that little musical rise and fall on in Spain stays mainly, right? Then you'd whisper along, just trying to get that cadence down. And finally, you'd say it out loud with confidence, copying not just the words, but the melody you heard. See? This is how you get your ear and your mouth to finally work together as a team. So you know the how, but how do you go from just doing the steps to really mastering this thing? Let's talk about a few key mindsets that will make all the difference and speed things up for you. You might be wondering, why is this so effective? Well, what's happening is you're literally creating new pathways in your brain. You're building muscle memory for your mouth, your tongue, your jaw, all the parts you use to speak. You're training them to move in ways they're not used to, so eventually it all becomes automatic. Okay, this is super important. Let's talk about the common traps people fall into. The biggest mistake by far is focusing on what the words mean. Forget the meaning. For this exercise, you are a parrot. Your only job is to copy the sounds. The next pitfall is trying to be perfect on the first go. Don't do that to yourself. It's okay to mess up, just focus on matching the flow. And finally, please don't start by trying to shadow a 10-minute podcast. Start with one simple sentence, master it, then find another one.
So, we've covered the problem, we've got the technique, and you've got the pro tips for mastering it. Now, the most important part of all, it's your turn.
Look, if you take away just one thing from all this, let it be this. Fluency is physical. It's not just mental. You can read all the books in the world, but to really get that native-like sound, you have to physically practice making the sounds. That knowledge has to travel from your brain all the way to the tip of your tongue. So really, the only question left is, what will you choose for your first shadowing practice?
a line from your favorite movie, a lyric from a song. The power is totally in your hands now. Go find a clip and start tracing the music of the language you love.